Hello, welcome to the MtM Vegas Happy Hour. I'm Shawn Coomer, joined by Mark Ostermann and Bethany Walsh from Bougie Miles. What's up, guys?
Hi,
We've been
everyone.
we've been busy doing shots for the last 8 minutes, so sorry we're late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we were
Sorry.
we had the pre-party. Really, Shawn got stuck in traffic. Was a little late getting back, and so what are you
It's
guys drinking?
SCT, so we're good.
Yeah, yeah, it's everything's on Shawn Coomer time. Exactly. I forgot about that, Bethany. I should have taken my time getting here instead of
I
rushing.
mean, I was like, you know what? Sean's show, so I'm just gonna go get my pizza. I'll be back. I'm drinking High Noon, as usual.
Nice.
It's just like vodka soda. It's easy. What do we got?
Lager of the Lakes. It's a little overblown, Mark, but what is it?
Yeah, it sounds a little like I don't know, something grassy, like Sean was drinking last time.
Mark, you're muted, so we didn't hear anything you said.
Oh. We're just a mess today. Yeah, it's a Lager of the Lakes from Bell's. It's like a Bohemian Pilsner, really smooth. And it has, picture of Michigan and all the lakes and everything. So I like it for that. But it's a great summer beer. If you get Bell's in your area, check and see if they have it.
Nice.
If you like smooth beers, if you like smooth, easy going.
Well, I do like my
Yeah.
beers not tasting like crap, so.
I'm thinking as opposed to what, like hot, super hoppy or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
like an
like an
IPA.
IPA, stuff like that, like where it's
Yeah.
a lot of kick and bite and all that. So this is just, like a Miller Lite, but more full than that type of thing.
You guys ready to talk Vegas? You guys excited? Bethany, we gonna
I'm
talk
ready
about
to
the
talk.
Taco Bell wedding?
I'm ready to
Yeah.
talk about poopy toilets and.
Oh yeah,
What an adventure it was.
it's an adventure anytime you go to a hotel these days. Not even in Vegas, but just the
Yeah,
housekeeping
that's a really
across
good point.
the board in the hospitality industry has been abysmal. I was at just in Austin last weekend or last weekend. The room was just when you start looking, at the places that they're not wiping down, and you're like, oh, okay, not getting cleaned so well. But yeah, poopy toilet is a. I guess you could tell the story, Bethany, because people who watch the channel probably know that I had a really dirty room at Aria a few weeks back, but there was no poop in my toilet. But not you can't say the same, right? What happened?
Okay, so we checked into the executive suite at Aria. So basically, there's only two of them, I think, in the whole hotel. I could be wrong, but I think that's what they told us. So like you would think it would at least be, presentable. And I was super excited because they have the Toto toilet, which is so cool. It's like the thing you press, and it's got like all the different modes and everything, and it's awesome.
They are
And so
amazing.
I went
Really,
over to
really
it.
life changing when you
My
use
God.
those the
Well,
first time.
okay, so the coolest thing, one of the coolest things I've ever seen at an airport was at NRT. It's the Toto Toilet Museum, and they have like every single high-tech Toto toilet. And I know like I shouldn't have been that excited about it, but I was. Um, so anyway, so I
Yeah, what'd you
check
do
in.
on your trip? I went and looked at toilets for a
Oh
while.
my
It was
God, I
pretty
sat on
cool.
everyone.
Well,
I
I
was like,
didn't
I'm
know
sitting
that.
on
Wait,
every one of these
I
toilets.
didn't know they had the Toto Toilet Museum in the airport, but the NRT Airport, Narita Airport, is the first place I ever used one of those things because I had heard about them. And like in 2008, when I landed there, first thing I did was go to the bathroom and like check it out. I'm like, Jasmine, oh my God, it's so cool. They got the bidet in there with all the buttons and everything. Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah, so
crazy.
they have every like high-tech model in this one little area in the middle. And I was like, everyone else is like just trying to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, hold on, I just need to see that one. So weird. I don't know. I was so
Who's this crazy?
fascinated.
Who's this crazy tall lady walking around looking at toilets everywhere?
I know. I was like, did you sit on that one yet? How was it? But anyway, so I'm all excited for like the cool toilet, and I go over to it, and I'm like about to press the button, and I'm like, oh my God, there's poop on the toilet, like actual poop. And
It wasn't. It wasn't like even in the bowl. Wasn't it like on the outside? You
it was on
said
the
like.
outside. Outside, yeah, it wasn't even in. Like, right? If it was in, I'd be like, all right, maybe they just like rushed and like got sidetracked. No, no, it was like on the outside. Yeah. And then so then of course naturally I'm like, well, like I'm usually what like if something's dirty, I'll just live with it. But I'm like, I feel like I can't clean that up myself. Like it's just wrong. So I call housekeeping, and my P2 is like trying to be so diplomatic. He's like, "Hi, there's a slight issue with the." I'm like, "Tell them there's shit on the toilet." So the guy's like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry. We're gonna send someone right up." Nobody comes ever. Like, didn't show up. So I ended up cleaning it myself.
There you go. I mean,
Yep.
you can't even really clean it properly. What do you do? Rub some bar soap on some toilet paper, wet toilet paper? I don't even know how you like.
So they had dish soap in the guest bathroom, and
Oh,
so I
okay.
put a whole bunch of that on a towel. It
There
was
you go.
probably overkill, but like, like you're cleaning someone else's poop. So that's what happened. Yeah,
You
at the
come for
Aria.
Vegas talk and you get toilet potty talk. You didn't know what
Yeah.
what was going to happen here tonight.
Yeah, right.
Gotta love it. I mean, all I can say is if you stay in a Vegas hotel these days, don't look too close. Just try not to
Mhm.
look too close. I mean,
Don't bust out the black light. Definitely don't.
no, Mark,
But
have you
Meanwhile,
been
it's so
doing that?
funny
Have
because
you been
all
doing
I'm
that,
looking
Mark? Or
for is
you?
No, I don't know. But even like that room, it was kind of beat up, and it's a bigger room, expensive because we ended up going there after the Taco Bell wedding and hanging out, and like the fridge to close the door, you had to pick it up and hold it up and then close it, otherwise it would just bang and keep open, and chips and dents, and it was rough shape for something they're charging thousands of dollars for, which is crazy.
Yeah, it was
I don't understand.
2,200 a night.
Yeah,
And
that's
there was
crazy.
a giant fingernail on the conference table too. And I
Oh,
kept like
gross.
just hoping it was going to go away.
I kind of feel like that's worse almost. Like fingernails disgust me.
I asked Steve, I was like, "Is that you? Please tell me that was you." And he was like, "No."
I still want to know like the physics of it getting outside the toilet, and then somebody's like, well, let's just trim our nail. So it was like fingernail trimming. It wasn't like a press-on nail, like a big one, or was it
No,
just
but it
like
was
a
like a big one. Like this person was like growing it for a month at least.
Well, then they probably had a big business meeting or something, and they had to chop them off.
No, they ran out of coke. They ran out of coke, so they said, let's trim this fingernail now.
Oh,
Well, yeah, it was fun. I
Dennis
can't wait to
asked,
talk.
yeah. Did you
Okay.
end up getting anything like discounted, or did you fight at the end, or was it really not worth it?
everyone knows I did not complain. I
That
didn't
makes a
say a
good
word.
point. I need a
Nope,
stiffer
I
drink
never
for
do.
the-
I need a
Now, on the
stiffer
flip
drink for
side,
the.
when I had my issue a couple weeks before you, I talked to the manager. They moved me to the other suite, said it was free, and then they ended up charging me for the entire thing. Even though when I looked at, I didn't check out at the desk. It was on my screen. I could have gone to the front desk then. I didn't. I assumed that knowing I had talked to a manager, and I'm still working to get them to fix that. So yeah, there you go.
I'm still waiting
Good
to
old
see if
Aria.
they charged me the cleanup fee, even though I, struck a deal with the housekeeper. So
Oh,
I
for
didn't
like
check
leaving a
yet.
lot of, do they charge like an extra fee if you leave a lot of trash or something?
Apparently, he said it was going to be like $600. I was like,
What?
"Here's $100. Go clean it." I was like, "Keep the alcohol. Here's like 10 cookies." Like,
That was still, so the housekeeper told you this, or people at the
yeah.
desk?
No. Okay,
Oh,
so I went, like, I knew it was going to be a little bit of an issue. So I went and I found him and I was like, "Hey, I handed him $100. I was like, can we like work this out?" And he was like, "Yeah, totally." He's like, "I'm glad you did that because I would have had to tell them because somebody has to come pick it up special." So here's the best part. I had the room next door for the next 2 nights because I booked the executive suite for 2 nights and then my main room for 4. The liquor and all the garbage sat outside of the suite until we left.
It's true.
just
I
in the
mean, a
hallway?
lot of these hotels, there's so much trash in the hallways everywhere, and then people are eating in the rooms a lot more now, I think, and nobody wants the food in their room, so they're throwing all the food out in the hallways. And like the people who are nice enough to bring it to like the garbage cans near the elevators, those fill up right away. Like so, nobody empties those in time. Yeah, I've seen stuff sit outside for days too. It sucks. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
then
It's
they call
nasty.
it's because of COVID that they can't actually roll the food into you. So like they give you all the food in like a bag now. And when we called, they were like, "Well, if you order over $100, we can come in." I was like, "I don't need you to come in, but like,
I was gonna say
who are you kidding?"
At Waldorf they came in, they brought it in on a cart and everything, but it was like $100. So I don't know if they have the same thing. I totally think the cleaning person scammed you and was like, oh, it's gonna be $600, hoping that you would offer.
No. So I approached him first because I knew like it was messed up to leave all that stuff. I was giving him $100 no matter what, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But then when he came in, he was like, oh, I would have definitely had to report this. He's like, I'm glad you did what you did. And then somebody knocked on my door and asked about the bottles. And I was like, did that guy just narc me? You know? And he was like, no. He's like, I figured it out. Like, I don't know. But I do believe he said that normally it's like a $475 cleaning fee for stuff like that.
That's crazy. You know, if you want to just leave trash, you go to the link and you leave a whole bunch of Gordon Ramsay's fish and chip boxes out on the patio. I left some money. I left, you know, $40-$50, but they didn't say anything. I never heard anything about it. And there was a lot of boxes out there. So, but I mean, it wasn't a ton of bottles and everything.
Yeah, I think boxes you put in a garbage, you know. Although I was like, so the guy also told me that they resell the bottles if they're not open. He said you have to like catalog them. Yeah. So Aria will sell them.
I mean, this is MGM we're talking about.
That made me really mad.
Cosmo customers recycled bottles of booze are coming to a bar near you. There you go.
So even if you buy it off property, they're like, oh, we're gonna use this and go stock the shelf in the bar. Oh, that's gross.
Isn't that annoy you?
Legal. I mean, isn't it?
It's definitely not.
Source? Yeah.
I always
worst things have happened.
Like, because I've left Vegas with a fridge full of stuff before, quite a bit of stuff in there. I always assumed like the cleaning, the maids and the crew that works the floors just kind of like split it up amongst themselves if they want to, or throw it away. But that would be pretty shady if they restock the bar with it. They're like, we didn't used to carry this.
Refilled the mini bottles with the big bottle of.
They're like, we didn't used to carry this brand, but it's on special today. Here you go.
It's part of the specialty cocktail.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised with anything in Vegas at this point, as far as cost cutting goes. But I don't know. I want to talk about your wedding though, because that was fun.
That was fun.
I was looking forward to that for so many months. I'm just like, hey, I'm going to a Taco Bell wedding this week. You know, I like just tell a random person on the street. I'm like, my friend's getting married at Taco Bell. I'm like, and they're like, so? I'm like, it's what? You know, it's Taco Bell. It's the Strip. It's fun. And I think it was. I had such a blast going. I mean, what was it?
It wasn't even like Taco Bell. It was like the club with a Taco Bell.
That's kind of how it felt. Yeah. So first, I would like to say that I could have never done it without these people who are like my family now. So I was so happy. Well, first of all, I'm so happy that Shawn lives there. So then Mark had to come. And it was just perfect.
I would have come anyway.
And I know, but and we got to hang out with Jasmine, Shawn's wife, and she doesn't usually come to things. So I was super happy to see her, and I'm always happy to see Mark's wife. I just adore her. So yeah, it was a great crowd. And I mean, like, what better thing in the world to do than get married at Taco Bell?
So let's explain. Like, what was your inspiration for choosing the Taco Bell Cantina for the wedding?
Yeah. So obviously I wanted to do something that was like kind of a joke, but also very true to who I am. And if you know anything about me, you know that I love Taco Bell.
I should say, in our internal MTM Slack, you could put different emojis to different things. And like the taco we have for Bethany, there's literally the Taco Bell logo is the emoji for Bethany. So
anytime somebody says my name, the Taco Bell logo just pops up. So I love Taco Bell, and I was getting so sick of having to explain to people like the status of my 20-year relationship. And I was like, that's it. We're going to go to our favorite place. We're going to be surrounded by a couple of our favorite people, and we're getting married at Taco Bell. And yeah, I wrote a poem in which I obviously can't read because it was very inappropriate, but I think I crushed it.
Just a bit.
Yeah, that's part of the whole wedding. Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to get married at Taco Bell, you should definitely say some dirty words in your vows, right?
I will say, like the person doing the wedding, like they rolled in like Taco Bell things like crunchy wrap and all this. It was kind of funny. Like they did a really good job with it. I think they pumped through quite a few weddings a day. Like it seems like they have it down pretty good.
Yeah.
And there was like this separate area upstairs you go to with the two bells all lit up. That looks like It looked like an altar that you would see anywhere, kind of, in Vegas. So it was really cool. And you have like this little private area, and they turn off the club music for the 15 minutes while they do it. And then it was crazy because as soon as they're like kiss each other, the music came back on. Like they knew. I don't know. Well, I think there was like a video of the thing everywhere, but
Can I
That
show a
video.
picture? Just a
Oh,
picture of you
yeah,
two up
yeah.
at the bell altar?
Oh,
Okay.
wait, where is it the one with the stomach? Because, oh my
No.
God.
It's just the one where he's putting the ring on your finger.
Okay,
So it's
fine.
not. Because I want people to see the
Is
Taco
it the
Bell
one with
sauce
the
packet
stomach?
bouquet.
Because, like when you're a woman and you're in like a gold sequin dress and everybody's got like an angle, I was like, oh my God, these pictures are horrible.
Yeah. I see. I didn't have the best angle, but I mean, this is what.
No.
But that hot sauce packet bouquet is
Look
that's
at that
my,
picture
my
of the
favorite.
person taking a picture with it up on their phone. That's pretty
I
cool.
love it.
So whoever your friend was in the front row doesn't understand that there's people behind him, and he kept just moving his thing, and he kept putting it out. I did everything I could to try to get something without him. I was like leaning out like low, but anyway.
Trying to think
So,
of who that
yeah,
was. I mean, the only.
It is kind of cool though
like,
that actually I have the picture of his video and you can see it
Yeah.
clearly. So
Yeah.
there you go.
It
So
was,
my favorite video is of like when I say the bad word, is the person whose video I have is all the way in the back, and you can see everyone's reaction.
That's awesome.
That was great. So somebody asked about the menu. We did not actually eat at Taco Bell, although we got a whole bunch of stuff. We brought it back to the suite. But the one thing that did go like very quickly was the Taco Bell. So, and they gave us a big giant, like 40-pound cinnamon churro cake. Didn't Kirsten have to hold it? Somebody held it like
Yeah, I
all the
don't
way,
know.
or maybe it was Rick. It was heavy.
Yeah, but
so.
didn't you got like a box of tacos for doing it, right? Like a 12-pack of tacos or something was part of it.
Think so, yeah. And actually, luckily, our friend Vin like brought a whole bunch of Taco Bell because literally, with all the amazing food that we had, that's what everybody wanted. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, when you're drinking, that's what you want. And then they gave you like a really cool like tank top and gave a shirt for Steve that says like Mrs. Taco Bell Bride or something like that. It was pretty cool. But
Yeah, and there's like a little bow tie with like hot sauce on it. But she was so insistent that she had to have the bouquet back. I was like, that sucks.
yeah, the bouquet was made of like fire sauce and hot sauce, and it was kind of cool looking.
It
But
was cool.
going back to Shawn's picture of the guy holding the picture of the picture, it reminds me of like if you've ever seen the beach, Leonardo DiCaprio, where they go to that private beach and everybody goes there on vacation. And there's like a picture. I think it was like a Business Insider article or whatever, and they show like these Instagram people holding up like doing a selfie in front of the beach at the beach, and it's like looks pristine and nobody's around. It looks amazing, and there's like 3 different ones, and then there's a guy taking a picture of all 3 of them doing a selfie at the same time with people like in the outskirts all over the place. It's kind of amazing that he took a picture and then showed the picture of what they were taking and showing.
It's my favorite like pastime lately to spot Instagram, like true celebrities, like the ones that'll sit there all day long trying to take a picture. I was in Bangkok 2 years ago, and there was these 2. I think they were Thai influencers. They were very beautiful women, and they were taking each other's Instagram photos for an entire 3 hours. I was out by the pool just swimming, and like they were in a very specific spot, and they were in like the best spot in the pool, so they were kind of ruining it for everybody. But they just stood there and they took I can't imagine taking the same picture over and over, and then how much time and thought goes into like cultivating that perfect moment to show, But it happened. I've seen it. I saw it at Circa. Were you with me, Mark? Was it when I was with you and Rick that there was this people at Circa doing the same? I might have been with Jasmine, but doing the same thing, just sitting there at the pool, taking picture after picture, getting that perfect angle, and it's like, if you got to work that hard,
hundreds of pictures for one post. It's crazy. It is crazy. Arthur asks, how did you find out that you could even have a wedding at Taco Bell?
Well, being a lifelong Taco Bell person, I've sort of always known that. And also when they
but like were you just like, I wonder if you can get married at a Taco Bell, and you just Googled it one day, or
No.
like, did somebody tell you about it?
I feel like Taco Bell did like a whole like press campaign, and obviously I check their website like once a month just to see if there's anything new on the menu. So that's how I figured it out. And then you and I talked about when they opened their hotel.
Yeah, I remember that for
And
like
so
the
that
pop-up
reinforced
hotel.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
I tried to get into that. I did not. I failed miserably. I tried to book it. And I even sent the guy that was running like the PR for it. I was like, "Hey, I want a trip to Hawaii from Arby's and I covered it. Can I do it for you guys too?" After I didn't get through, and he never responded to me, not surprisingly.
How
But
to pull
Sure.
out the RV? Yeah, not surprisingly is the key to takeaway there.
oh, but yeah, that would have been cool. And then what was the cost like just to do the wedding there?
It was 650 for just like the half an hour, and like everything was included for 650.
So it's definitely not on the value menu.
I mean, can you get married for cheaper?
No, you can't. I don't know what do you have any idea, Shawn, what like the chapels, the normal chapels
No, like the
charge at
drive-through
all?
ones, I think have to be probably a couple
Oh,
$100, but
yeah, drive-throughs
like I
different. I'm
remember,
talking
so
about
I
the ones
got
where you go into. I would think would
yeah,
be at least 500. So
so I got married at like Little Church of the West, which is a famous chapel on the Strip. It's where Elvis got married. It's actually the oldest building left on the Strip. It's across from Mandalay Bay now.
I
So
did not
it's on
know
the
that.
national list of historic places. It's an actual chapel, so it's not like one of those Elvis drive-through places, even though Elvis got married there. But it's actually like a chapel. But they had, when we got married, this is 20 years ago, but just different packages. So I think most of these chapels have like a base level package, and then you can, with the photographer included and like more bells and whistles and stuff like that, and it goes up from there. I know last year I was looking at considering renewing our vows at Little Church of the West, and they had the same thing. Like it went from like $500 up to like a couple thousand, and that included like pictures and the full kind of ceremony. So I think it
I
all
think you should
depends.
renew your vows at Taco Bell. I mean, if you're gonna do it right.
If I'm going to renew my vows, I'm going to renew it at the oldest building on the Las Vegas Strip, the place where I got married in the first place, the Little Church of the West, my friend. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
Mark.
Vegas is in my blood, baby. No, I mean the Taco Bell.
I'm
Wait,
a
what about?
historical freak.
Do you think that there's Denny's fan boys and girls that go to like the Denny's downtown to get
I
married just
bet.
because they love Denny's so
I
much?
bet. Yeah, people love the Grand Slam. I bet you there are.
No, that's
Enough
not a
to get like
thing.
to like.
I don't
I
know
think
that it would
back
be at
then.
the level of
Uh,
Taco Bell, and they don't have like that. Taco Bell is very unique. Like they have the music going, and they
Yeah.
sell drinks and everything. Where Denny's, I don't think that they probably have. It's probably just like a regular Denny's. I don't know.
No,
I've
I
never
think they
been in
have a
it.
bar there, but yeah, I mean it's
Oh,
in
do they?
Indianapolis. Yeah, I don't. I agree with you. I don't. I think the idea of a Denny's wedding is like significantly. I visualize like old people and like like the Grand Slam special or something. I don't know. So okay, I'm glad that
I
everybody's
mean,
on that.
listen, I just had a wedding at Taco Bell, and I'm sitting here turning my nose up at Denny's, so I really have nothing to say. I should
Yeah,
really not be saying
Aaron
anything.
Aaron says I never knew Taco Bell had a hotel. It was like they took over a hotel. Like it wasn't their hotel. It was a independently owned hotel, and they're like, we're gonna make it the Taco Bell hotel for like 2 or 3 weeks, and you had to get lucky to get a reservation there, and then they had all the Taco Bell food there and everything. So it's kind of unique, and but it was just like a pop up 3 week thing. It wasn't like long term. I wish they did have a full time hotel. That'd be pretty cool.
get married at Tacos El Gordo. Yes,
There you go.
Why not?
get some good tacos with it. No, I mean that's. I mean, I think it's great, Bethany. It gives you a good story to tell. It was a lot more fun than just going to like a standard chapel or like a boring sort of thing. And
Totally.
your speech went right along with it. So it was. It was
It
definitely
was
a
so
highlight for me.
good.
Now, so then you had the reception in the in your suite, but you ordered in food from there. Like you ordered in some other tacos, and those were really. Where were those from? Like where did you order some of the food from? Because I don't know,
Okay, so
maybe people out
if
there
I
care.
can, yeah. So for a quick minute, if you're ever worried that hotel security is going to be up your ass, because they told us that we were not allowed to have any outside food for a party. So, of course, like we were stressing out about it for days because we ordered like $1,500 worth of food and had to get it all into Aria, like past security. So we got China Poblano, my favorite sushi place, which is Tekka, and then something else. I don't know. And
That's
then we
like
had
why
Milk
don't you
Bar
talk
for dessert.
about because Tekka it's actually like the most affordable place at Cosmo too, right? Isn't it? It's one of the cheapest
Yeah,
sushi places.
it's like for 3 rolls, it's like $38. So yeah, I mean,
No, it's even, but
you
they
know,
have a special because I ate there. maybe it's just lunch. I don't know, but they had 4 rolls for 22, and then they had a special 6 rolls for 38, including one of them being a lobster roll. So I don't
What?
know if that was for lunch. Yeah, me and Ian. I got 4 rolls, like their
Dude,
4
I've
roll
been there
special for $22.
200 times.
Yeah.
You
Well, I
always go
I've never
at
don't.
even
night
heard of
though.
such a thing.
You're sleeping
Yeah.
you're sleeping
Well,
during
it's not the
lunch.
individual. So it was a
Okay.
pre. So it was like for the 4 rolls, it was like a spicy tuna,
I'll
scallop,
just leave it there.
like a yellowtail, and one other
And
one.
the
So I mean,
lobster?
it's already predetermined. It's prefixed. And then the 6 rolls, like I said, one of them was a lobster roll. Those other rolls, but really great deals. And then the individual rolls are like, yeah, $7 to $10, something like that.
Yeah.
If for the special, I mean, it's for being at Cosmo and on the Strip, pretty cool. And
Yeah,
it's a
that's like
nice
normal
place to sit.
prices.
Nice little bar.
Not in
Yeah.
Vegas on the Strip plus Cosmo. MGM will
Yeah.
probably jack up the prices. I know we're going to talk about that later, but I'm sure
Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
sure
And I'm
everything's
from
going
New
up
York,
there.
so like I know sushi. Like I think Vegas, LA, and New York know their sushi.
Yeah.
And like it is the best. There's
And it's
although
all
think
hand
about
rolled
what
too, right in
people
front of you too,
yeah.
which it's not like it's just fantastic quality.
I
Yeah,
know.
really good.
And did you have that
I was
spicy
surprised.
sauce?
I don't
Like
think
the red
so.
sauce?
No, we didn't really have that. No, I'll
Woo,
have to get it
so
next.
good. Yeah.
If that $22 thing stays on the menu, I can see myself being there quite often because I don't know that there's a better lunch on the Strip for that
It's
price.
my staple. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, good stuff on that. China Poblano, that was really good. So where were like the street tacos from?
Also from China Poblano.
Were they okay?
Yeah.
Very good.
We ate there like 2 times ago and really liked it. And we figured, you know what, let's just like concentrate at Cosmo. That way, like we don't have to run all over the place since nobody was picking it up for us and nobody's allowed to deliver it.
I do find it so weird. Like you even reached out and said, "Hey, if we order from restaurants at Aria, could we get it catered that way?" Versus use, and they're like, "No, you have to use the catering company," which doesn't make a lot of sense to me because what does it matter? It's still on property. You're still spending the money with them. So why
Yeah.
do they care where it comes from? I don't know. It's
And then to
bizarre.
be honest, nobody cared. They were just trying to make an issue where there wasn't one, because they have a takeout stand where you can pick up. There's no limit to how many bags you're allowed to have. Like
Yeah,
nobody says, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're only allowed to order 19 entrees," right? Like they want you to
yeah,
order stuff, and then you're supposed to
yeah,
pick it up in bags at the takeout stand. So why couldn't they tell us that? Not a great experience.
yeah. Aria, rest
All
in
right.
peace.
All right, now let's complain about Cosmo because for people who don't know, like your 2 hotels that you love are Aria and Cosmo,
Yeah.
and you know the Identity Players Club very well. You one of the experts especially with the tie-in with Marriott, and you've written a lot about that, a lot of great information. But what were your thoughts when you found out that MGM's buying Cosmo?
I was thinking nobody's going to care about me anymore, Um, I was thinking it really sucks because it's like the one program where I feel like people who really love luxury hotels generally like Marriott best just because it has the most options, right? So you have like obviously Ritz, St. Regis, Autograph, like a bunch of good ones as opposed to just like 1 or 2 brands. And they have a really good transfer rate, which is so rare for programs. Like we all know, like if you ever try to transfer your airline miles to hotel points, you're getting like 10 to 1 or 5 to 1 or whatever. This is 5 to 4. So you're getting 80%. And there's like a whole bunch of ways to double, sometimes triple dip, depending. So it's basically just like dipping all over the place. And, us miles and points people
So
love that.
is that why you like Cosmo the most? Just because it's tied into Marriott? Is that like was that a big selling feature for you?
No, but it is a huge perk.
Yeah. Now I
You
know you
know?
like their loyalty program because you can earn status pretty quickly just by dining at the restaurants and charging everything on property and you level up pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, but for me, it's the wraparound terrace suite. It's like just to me, it's the most special room in that I've ever been in Vegas. And the coolest part about it is that, like, let's say you can book the regular room for, I don't know, like 180 or something on a Tuesday. The wraparound's only like 315. I mean, if I'm going to Vegas, I'm definitely springing for that extra $150, for that room. Like, yeah, that's why.
Yeah, it's really a special hotel, and that's the problem. That's what's so sad about this is not that MGM is the worst or that they don't know how to run a hotel. It's that it's going to be one of what 9 or 10 instead of one of one, and it's it really is in that upper tier. For me, when I would put number one Cosmo two, but whatever, I would never argue with somebody who said Cosmo's the best hotel in Vegas. I don't, Aria is fine, whatever. Bellagio, I think Bellagio really is their top tier hotel, and they do a fine job, I think, at keeping up with it. But Cosmo to me is more special than Bellagio. I know that might be sacrilege to some people, but I'm
I
just
love
sad about
Bellagio
that.
too, but
I
I
don't.
agree.
I hope that MGM treats it at least to Bellagio's level. Hopefully they will, because it really is worthy of that treatment. But I fear that it's going to be treated more like Aria has been, which the rooms are not in the greatest shape in Aria, and we've talked about the housekeeping and how often will Cosmo get refreshed. There's a lot of people. I haven't stayed in the rooms this year, but have you noticed the Cosmo rooms getting a little worn even after the refresh a couple years ago? I saw a couple of people say that. I don't know.
No, but I always get upgraded to like the third level.
Okay.
And I think it's probably just because I always have like their base level status. And so maybe I haven't like stayed in a city room in a while. And I could see that getting uh dated.
Yeah.
So
I
okay,
mean,
so convince me that like why is Win the best? Because I'm probably gonna have to switch. So
well, I
I need
think
to
Wynn and
know.
Cosmo are two different types of places, but I think Wynn, uh, for me, like Wynn Encore actually delivers a level of luxury that you often don't see in hotels that are bigger than like 200 or 300 rooms. Like, everybody at the front desk is friendly. Your point, walking down the hallway, the maids will say hello. Like the level of a refinement there is just above anywhere else in Vegas that I've found. I love the rooms. It's very sort of Asian Chinese inspired, which works really well with my tastes and everything else. The new rooms I'm a little mixed on, but I think everything's really high quality. So I like it, but it doesn't have that. It's not as modern as Cosmo, but also they have unique restaurants. It just feels like when I'm at Wynn Encore and staying there, it feels like a place I never have to leave. And even if you golf, they have a golf course, but they have gardens outside. The pools are beautiful. The restaurants, I mean, they have restaurants that are, out by their lake. They have restaurants in like Mizumi in its own like garden, Japanese garden, like just crazy, unique venues. To me, it's as Vegas as it can be, but also just like high end, and it just feels like the nicest place on earth. I just don't want to leave. And I love the decor too. I love the way the public areas all look too,
All
and it's
right. So
spread
you
out.
feel the
Cosmo's a little
luxury
bit
while
too
you're there.
stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cosmo is the one thing about Cosmo is it's very cramped as far as when it gets busy in there. It just I don't know. It feels a little bit different, but like I said, it's my number two, so I really, really love Cosmo. I mean, I've stayed at just about everywhere, and like to me,
Yeah.
Bellagio doesn't even come close to Cosmo as much as I like that, or any
Yeah.
of the other sort of even Venetian Palazzo, not on that
Mm-hmm.
level either. So
Yep.
I don't know.
Ronnie makes a good point on the silver lining. Like if you're staying at other M Life properties, once they take over, at least you can dine at Cosmo and bill it back to your room and use it that way, earn points that way, or
But
use
now you're
use
getting
credit.
like a tenth of the rewards.
Yeah, but I guess if you're an M Life player, this is great for you. Like if you never went to Cosmo, if you
No,
never stay.
no, because Cosmo's base it's so easy.
Yeah, but let's say you just strictly, a lot of people just gamble with one thing. Like they don't split their money between two outfits because they don't gamble enough, they don't go enough. If you're
Right.
going 2 times a year, 3 times a year, and you're putting
Yeah.
all your coin in, all your money at M Life, this is great for you. But if you like splitting time, or we did a podcast with a couple of YouTubers, JR Food and Travel, and we were talking to them the other night, and it comes out next week, but they kind of split it up. Like they love M Life, and then they'll go to Cosmo just like for a break, because you can only do 4 nights at M Life on
Yeah.
comp that they're able to get, and then they go to Cosmo for the next one or two. So this kind of stinks for them. But if you're just solely M Life, then you got another option. And I wonder if is it going to be harder to get comps there? Is it going to be harder to get rooms? Because there's going to be all these people like, oh, we got a new property we can go to. So every high roller in M Life is going to be hitting up Cosmo as soon as it comes online, I think.
You
I
guys
feel
are
like
not making
high
me laugh
rollers
enough. I
are.
guess I'm not smiling enough. So you guys got to make me bring
Come
in
on,
the
Shawn,
bring in the
Shawn, it's
stuff.
Shawn.
I was only
Shawn, it's
like
Shawn.
almost on the floor laughing for the first 20 minutes of this show, but
And Shawn
And I'm
spelled
sick.
Shawn
I have a
right.
fever, so I'm it's not my fault.
No, I'm just
Here's
kidding.
what I think about that is that high rollers are tied to their hosts usually. So I don't know. It'll be an
I
interesting
haven't
transition.
had a good host in like 5 years, man. It's been rough. Like
Maybe you're
I
not a
used to
good
have.
gambler.
That's true too. But I used to have like a really good host at Caesars. Like he would get other people rooms free that like were friends. He's like, hey, just have them sign up for a new account, and then I'll give them a free room because it'll
Well,
be like me
Caesars.
bringing. Yeah, but it'll be like me bringing in a new thing. I will say I did get emailed a host after just today from the trip out of M Life, and I finally started gambling there. So we'll see if that goes anywhere. He works at Park MGM, so I'm not super excited about it.
Wah wah wah.
So
I heard
we'll
that they
see.
have
But
an amazing steakhouse now, though.
It
I
does look very
would
nice.
never be able to come up with the name, but our friends who like go to all the steakhouses said it was excellent. And
they
I
used
think
to.
he actually said it was his favorite in Vegas.
Oh wow, because they used to have a steakhouse that we always enjoyed when it was Monte Carlo, like right off the casino floor. We'd go there, and so I'm guessing it probably took over that, and just they brought in a new one.
I'm
So
mad
it's
at
probably in the
myself
same area.
because when you said you don't know the name, like the name Bavette's came to my mind, and then I was like, no, it's not that, and then it is that. It's Bavette's. So I was right, but since I had to look it up, I don't get
Something like
credit
that,
for it.
yeah. You knew. You really knew. So
Yeah.
can someone
Dennis.
explain why it's not a monopoly?
Sure. I mean, there's first off, you have Caesars and MGM, but there's also, many other players in town. So you can look at like Tropicana is currently owned by Penn National. It's going to be owned by Bally's. You could go up to like Circus owned by TI by Phil Ruffin. Sahara has its own owner. Strat has its own owner. Venetian Palazzo is owned by Wynn Encore, Genting, and Resorts World. That's just on the strip. I just named 7 different players in addition to Caesars and so I don't know. Not to mention in the local scene you have Boyd Gaming Station casinos, and then downtown there's another half dozen or more owners there of major casinos. So there's a lot of casino owners here, even if they own all the ones. So
Arthur has a good question for you.
Arthur. Cromwell is fine. Cromwell is like fake
I love
chic
Cromwell.
in my
Cromwell.
opinion.
I love
the
it.
casino, I love the casino at Cromwell. The rooms are like fake chic. They're just, and I believe when it opened, like when they first did those rooms, I'm sure they were fine. When I stayed in the room, it just felt very worn and like it had seen much better days. And the building itself doesn't have the best bones. The rooms are kind of small, and it's kind of, the window is like, you can't even see the window from the room, right? Like to look out the window, it's over by the bathroom in the back of the room in a weird spot. So,
and it's usually like really tiny too.
Yeah.
The window.
So
it's
like
old Bill's gambling hall. So
yeah,
they're
Barbary Coast
working with
before
that.
that.
Yeah. And I don't mind the rooms. I like, they have darker color scheme, wood floors, and I always like when hotels have wood floors versus carpet. I feel like it's less disgusting, I guess. I don't know, because you never know what's in the carpet. But
Amen.
so I like that. I like that it's like the only boutique hotel on the strip, really. They don't have that many rooms. They have like a coffee machine, espresso machine type of thing at the end of every hallway by the elevator and everything. There's only, a few
That's
floors.
something you like, having to
No,
share
I
a
just
coffee machine?
I just like that, like they have
There's a good point there. So like this is totally Las Vegas. Like we're like, how can we figure out how to like cut out all the coffee machines but one? Let's just put it at the end of the floor and we'll call it a benefit. Whereas every other
I don't
city,
remember.
they
I don't
can
remember if they had them in the room,
cool.
or I don't remember if they had them in the room or
Yeah.
not. But it's like the fancy coffee machine is in the hallway. It might be one from Speedway, Bethany, that you can't figure out how to work, but
It's true. Mark's wife sent me a video saying, just so that you know how to use the coffee machine next time you're in Michigan, this is how you do it.
But I do like, I love the smell. It's kind of like a Westin where they have that like scent that they pump in there, so it's good. And I really do like the casino. It's really pretty, and it's more intimate, and just the whole place feels more intimate than most of Vegas. So I think it gives you a different vibe than other hotels. It's not a mega resort, which is unique. and it has, you know, the rooftop club and the basement club, and so it's got that going for it too. So I enjoy it. It's definitely not on the level of the other two, but it's for Caesars, it's upper end for them for sure.
Yeah, I mean the location is so great because the hotel's so small. So you're downstairs and you're right on the corner of Flamingo and Las Vegas Boulevard. So everything is just right
That's
there,
true.
and that's amazing.
It's a lot.
So,
It's a lot like Waldorf that what we
yeah,
talked about on the podcast, where you can quickly get to the strip. You don't have to walk through all these mazes and labyrinths to get there. You just get out the elevator, you take a left, you're like right there in 2 minutes. So it's pretty cool that for that too. Now I got to book it. Now I got to book Cromwell next time I go to Vegas because I'm missing it.
you're missing it. Yeah,
I've
so.
actually
I'm
been
not
dying
missing
to
it.
stay at Caesars, which is really weird. Every time I walk in there, I get this like, I want to stay there. I don't know why.
I hate Caesars. I don't know. I know that that's like bad. It's just it's like the most confusing casino in Vegas because
I'll give you
it's like
that.
here's a circle, here's a circle, here's a circle, here's a circle. Let's just combine them all. I mean, it's fine. The pool's kind of run down. It looks nice until you get in it and you're up close.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, the tiles are like falling off and there's mold and stuff. But
Oh, yum.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's still, it's okay. I mean, it has Vanderpump, so it has that going for it.
But your wife says Vanderpump is not a real Vanderpump, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Vanderpump
She was
Garden
upset
is
that it
fake.
wasn't like a full menu. So, yeah, and but
she
we still
wanted
had
a
good time.
restaurant, not a cocktail bar.
Yeah, and they have a little bit of food, but it's not much. And the food they do have is good, but you know, the drinks are super expensive there. It's really sexy and cool when you walk in and sit down, but she wants like the Sir where you're having like a full meal type of thing. So she was a little let down.
Maybe
whatever
but
they
your
open-
drinks looked amazing.
Yeah,
like
the drinks
whatever
were
she
good.
was drinking was like,
Well, she said she's like I took 4 sips and this thing's gone because they packed so much ice in it. She's like, it's really good, but you're paying $18 and you're getting like 4 ounces of actual beverage. It's kind of a ripoff. It's annoying, but
Well, all those
you're in
restaurants,
Vegas.
all those celebrity restaurants are actually run by Caesars. So whether it's Guy Fieri or Gordon Ramsay or Lisa Vanderpump, they own those restaurants and they're basically franchising them out or licensing the name. And like, I know in the case of Gordon Ramsay, he's getting a percentage off the top, basically. So the guy's just printing money off these restaurants where he doesn't have to do very much at all. And I imagine Vanderpump, I know that it's run by Caesar, so I have to imagine she has say over the menu
They're
and all
like,
that. But as far as like
pump the
small
ice in
portions and all that stuff, yeah, that's
Yeah.
Caesar's Entertainment all the way, baby.
I am curious to see what she does in Paris because I'm imagining she designs everything because it looks exactly like the other stuff she's designed. So
yeah.
I think she'll do that for Paris, and it's a really big space and it's a cool space and it's right off the casino floor. So I think that'll be a good add to Paris, which I think Paris is probably the most underrated hotel casino in Caesar's portfolio. Location
I would
is
agree
great.
with that. I've never stayed, but I every time I
Yeah.
walk in there, I'm like, it's kind of nice here.
Yeah, it's really like you feel like I don't know, relaxed when you're in there. The color scheme and everything, and it's just pretty and it's relaxing. They have really good restaurants there. Probably my favorite restaurants in the Caesars portfolio is there. I know a
What
lot
are
of people
they?
say just like Mana Mugabe and even the Eiffel Tower restaurant and
Mona
stuff.
Mikabe.
Yeah.
Before you trigger everybody out there.
Sorry. And even like the walkway we ate at the Italian restaurant, which was okay, and they have Burger Brassier, which is on the way to Bally's down that walkway.
Mark
so they
and I
have like
spent
a
like
lot
5 minutes trying to figure out the name of the Italian restaurant, how to pronounce it the other day. And it was so funny.
Monterano's or something like that.
I don't know. Martirano.
Martirano's, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Martirano's.
I think there's one in New York too, but
yeah,
that was
and there's one
decent.
in Atlantic City too.
Yeah, I mean the only annoying thing was I feel like they cook everybody's meal that's seated at the same time because everybody sat there for like an hour and then all the food came out, which they say they make everything fresh, like all the pasta and everything. So I don't know if they just make it all at once and then everybody got food at the same time, which was really weird and annoying because we had a flight to catch and I was getting stressed. It was like a 2-hour ordeal.
That's not fun.
Yeah, it was like 2 hours to eat there, but I just we've always liked Paris and I think it's definitely underrated. If you're a Caesars person, that and Cromwell are my 2 favorite. Probably.
I'm still sad though about losing that Diamond Lounge because that was a special that we had our first.
You've lost them all, Shawn. They're gone. They're all gone.
I know.
That was
They're
our
never coming
first
back.
night together.
Yeah, that was the first time. They started working for me, these two, and then we had a meetup in Vegas, and we started at like a bar in Bally's, right?
Hmm.
And then we
Yep.
realized there was enough Diamond members in our group, all
Which
through.
my crap host was supposed to set up. We had this. I was like, hey, what bar could we do that we just have like 30, 40 people coming? He's like, all right, well, we'll set you up at this bar. Cool. We show up there like, I don't know what you're talking about, but they had just opened, so we had the space. But I'm like, dude, you're the worst host ever.
Mark
And
was
then
trying to
we all-
impress his new boss. He's like, I got this taken care of. Don't worry, I got my host. He's going to take care of all this. We show up, they're like, who are you? Like, what are you guys doing? No, but no, it was perfect because, like you said, there was plenty of space. But then we figured out we had enough people with Diamond memberships, and you get one extra guest. So between all the memberships, we had enough guests to bring everybody in. So we all went to the Paris Diamond Lounge, open bar, like eating, drinking. That's, it was quite a lot of fun. Let's just put
That
it
was
this
so
way,
much fun.
like 25
And to
or
think that
20
was the first time we hung out. That was
Yeah.
almost 5 years ago.
Yeah, it sure was. That was a lot of fun. But that space will always be precious to me. But hopefully, the Vanderpump Garden is good because I did like the Vanderpump Cocktail Garden. I think it's only because I was with Mark and he talked it up so much, and all he likes to do is talk about the cheese balls. But they were really good.
But they're so
They were
good
really
though.
good. The cheese balls were really good.
Also, the sliders are like
the sliders.
I don't know what
we
they
got
did to them, but I was like, this is magic.
We got the spicy chicken sliders, which were really good. My favorite thing is the truffle oil fry or chips. The truffle oil chips. Get those; they're awesome.
Well, I didn't get those, but I will next time I go for my glass of Dom with my $100 dinner.
The best part about the goat cheese balls was I was just having water, so I ate some of Mark's goat cheese balls, and he had to pay for it with his cert. So
As you should
that
have.
was the best. They tasted
No, I couldn't
twice as
pay for
good
it with
because of
cert.
that.
I couldn't pay for it. No, okay. So the bill was only like $65 when I was there. So I was like, all right, I'm going to use my cert the next night when we're going out to dinner. And then we go the next night, and Caesar's whole system crashed. Like you couldn't use comps, couldn't use certs, nothing. And they're like, I don't know what to tell you. Like it's going to be down all day. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, and it was my only trip in 2020. And she's like, well, they'll get extended. I'm like, that's not the point. Like, I wanted to use this $100 on dinner tonight, and you're telling me the system's down. And you can't do anything about it. They're like, nope. I'm like, you can't paper write out something.
Yeah,
No.
something.
So,
Wait, how do you guys feel about this situation? So we each have our $100 diamond dinners. We take them to the mall thinking, no problem, because we went to the Palm and we're like, oh, do you take the diamond dinner? The woman's like, yeah. So we sit down, we order like $400 worth of food. And, figuring it's only going to be like $200. And then, we tell her and she's like, oh, it's not oh my God, what is it's not like Landry's, but it's whatever brand like owns the Palm. She's like, oh, it's not their diamond dinner. I'm like, are you serious? like you work inside of a Caesars. I feel like there's probably been a few people who have come and asked about the diamond dinner, and they did not mean like the Landry's top tier status Palm dinner. So I mean,
I didn't realize that Landry's owns Palm, but yeah,
I don't know if it was Landry's.
No, it is.
It
Landry's.
is?
I
Okay.
looked it up. Yeah.
I was like,
I didn't
that
realize
was the
that they
name
own
that
that brand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And meanwhile,
that's crazy.
it's so like Palm is really good. But yeah, I felt like that was just super obnoxious. And then the manager was like all like nervous, like, oh, I told you guys that. And we were like, no, it's okay. We're not those people. But I feel like have a little bit of a clue.
Yeah. It sucks though when that happens. I mean, you're asking ahead of time, and
Mm-hmm.
and that it's crazy how much Landry's is bought up though. Like
It's true.
It's all owned by
Stefan,
Tillman Fertitta.
I am doing my first video tomorrow, and it's how to avoid resort fees. So it's great
Nice.
timing. It's already edited, and I look beautiful in it. So you'll enjoy it either way.
Beautiful.
There you go. Check out Bougie Miles on YouTube.
Yes.
The video drop. But I mean, a couple good tips is like if you can get diamond status, which we get through stats matches or founders card, that's a good way to avoid resort fees. Which I don't know why MGM doesn't waive it for top tiers. I think that's kind of crazy. It's stupid, but there are still a few local type places that will waive it. You can stay like just off the strip at the Westin and stuff like that. Like you're a half a block away from the strip, and you'll avoid it there and everything. So there's options, but and
you
then
have
here you go.
Words.
Yeah, we have an
and
article on
stuff.
the site too with all the, and that's actually up to date as of now. So all the
Yeah, Bougie
resources.
Miles is Bethany's site /
Yeah.
YouTube channel. So check it out for sure.
forget to
Subscribe. She needs subscribers.
I do. I'm so close. So that's why I was like, all right, fine. I'm going to do a video again. By the way, the Win app, if you cash in enough points, they also waive the resort fee, which is not with the M Life or Caesars app. So I was pretty excited about that.
That's
And
cool.
since I always have it on auto, I have enough for at least 3 comp nights at Win. I just leave it on.
Is that like a My Vegas type of thing where it just is like the free play thing and you just run through and you earn points or whatever?
But I think you have to buy a certain number of points. You have to spend a little bit of money to get. Didn't they change the rules?
No, so
At
you don't
some
have to
point?
spend any money, but you have to get there quick. So like
Oh,
the
okay.
first time I started playing with it, I didn't stand a chance. But this time, like I guess I got lucky a couple of times, and you know, such as life, like they kept me in the game, and so it just like kept building. And now I don't see how there's any way I could ever run out of points at this point. But I was like,
That's
so
how I used to
excited.
feel at My Vegas when they give you like, here's 40 million chips. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna bet $1 million a spin because I got chips to burn, and then you're
Yep.
out. But I remember when My Vegas first came out, what was that, like 2008, 2009, 10, something like that, long time ago. They used to have really good stuff, and now the last couple of times I've checked, there isn't anything that really excites me, so I don't even do it anymore.
I think there are free rooms and stuff, but they're very limited, and you have to go on a specific time. And I know Pennies for Vegas, he's big on Twitter, and he has a YouTube channel. I know he does a lot of the My Vegas stuff, so he's still getting a lot of comps and stuff. But I think you have to like be super tuned into the time.
Yeah, but it used to be like $50 off dinner, and you didn't have to be staying at the hotel and stuff like all this kind of like a free bottle or $1 million My Vegas points. You get to pick the song that Bellagio does the fountains to, and like all kinds of cool stuff back in the day.
They really had that? That was a real thing?
Yeah, that was a real thing.
I never saw that.
Yeah, it was like really in the beginning. You had to, and everybody's, and they used to give you not very many chips, and now they give you like all the time.
That's how they got.
So you had
excited,
to. It was really tough to get to that level, and you're like, how did somebody get there? And then they get to pick it, and they do the fountain show while you're there, and I was like, that'd be awesome, especially if you're sitting at one of those. The one thing I haven't done in Vegas that I really want to do is go to
a restaurant.
One of the restaurants that you overlook the fountain, like on the outdoor patio. I think that'd be really cool.
I think I got.
I mean, everybody should do that once. I did
try
discover
everyone and just see which one's the best, right?
Yeah.
What was the one I did? I did the steakhouse, and it was nice. You know, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so Bellagio, I found so now My Vegas is doing every once in a while like premium rewards, and I just like redeemed it just to see what the thing is because you can always cancel it, and it's also like I'm married to these points or anything. And they had like every Saturday night available. So I guess it like depends on like when you hit it, you know what I mean? But they're not totally useless, but you're right about the food stuff. So I had like a $75 credit and they were like, oh, you have to be paying 3 nights and it can't be reduced. I was like, who's staying here where it's not reduced?
Yeah. That I did one that was like free play and they're like, oh, you have to be staying here to use the free play. I was like, oh, okay. So I just like let it go. And then of course I did one that was like buy one, get one free into the ice bar back like 10 years ago when it used to be out on the strip. And Vegas trips, you always plan things and then they don't happen. So I finally made it to an ice bar the weekend of your wedding, and I was very excited for that, but I paid full price. What I did, what I started using My Vegas for every time was the Monorail buy one, get one free pass, because it seemed like the best value, and we just ride the Monorail everywhere. Super exciting. So maybe they'll have a loop. Maybe they'll have a loop BOGO. I don't know. What do you think, Shawn?
I'll just use the locals dollar offer. So I don't know about that. That's the hack for the Monorail. But then they only sell you 2 tickets though, so you can only buy 2 tickets per person. So 1 for each way. So they really limit you. You can't buy it for friends.
Yeah.
But how much is it going to be? Well, or how much is it without that?
I think right now it's $5 for a one-way trip. And then they have the passes and stuff like that.
Yeah, the one I would use on My Vegas was like a 3-day all-you-can-ride pass, and it was
like that's actually good. All right,
yeah, it was like $20, and you get 2 of them, and we just go up and down the strip and hit all the.
Well, if you're a Caesars person too, I think makes a lot more sense with their properties. I mean, you have MGM Grand, I guess, but the rest of it's pretty much Caesars until you get to
Yeah,
the
we
North
would
Strip.
we would even ride the monorail from like MGM all the way down to Sahara, and then get a cab to go downtown to save a couple bucks. That's how we used to roll.
The cabs were expensive, like back when people used to
Mhm.
do them, other than
Yeah,
Uber.
this was pre Uber days. Yeah,
Mhm.
so we would rather, we already had the 3-day monorail, so we just ride it as far as we could,
Why
and
not?
then we would get it cut it in half basically the cost. So we did it.
Or you could
That's
just
what we
have
did.
Sean pick you up.
I didn't know Shawn back then. He was a nobody to me.
I would have. I've been like, you got to pass. I got my nice little locals.
$20
locals thing.
We did ride the Deuce once to go to the outlets, and that was like we're like, oh, we're taking the cab back. This took way too long.
I think in my
But-
Vegas though, some of the coolest redemptions are like cruises and some other stuff that's not in Vegas that I look at. My wife has. I don't have
Yeah.
any points, but my wife.
They've
does.
added a ton of like off Vegas stuff. Like even the,
They have
like, Queens.
Intercontinental on there now.
Oh, really?
like-
Wow.
All the major city IHGs. I mean, nobody like who wants to say it IHG right now anyway. And
They
usually
have
it's
Macau
like
properties too, like which is crazy.
that's
too.
true. Yeah. Although
But I
can we go to Macau now?
No, we can't. But I always thought every time I saw Macau in there, I'm like,
Yeah.
there's no way that this could be like who is redeeming these for Macau? So you probably get there, you're the first person to ever do it, and then to try
they're
to
like,
like
oh.
deal with like
early
the barrier and all
on.
that. No.
Yeah.
When you would book something on my Vegas, it would be like you'd have to explain it to nobody knew what was going on. You're like, you'd go to the rewards desk at M Life, and they'd be like, what is this? And you're like, oh, I need this, and they have to give you like a paper slip to go to the place to use the buy one get one free drink, and it was a real mess. So I was there from the ground floor, Shawn. I was there.
And now it's as with everything, it's been devalued and it's not as good as it once was.
Yeah.
This is actually a good reminder of people who like look at deals. If something is like an amazing deal, enjoy it, take advantage of it, and know that it will not be around someday, and that you can reminisce about it then. But it's going to go away. So if something's like this amazing deal and it makes sense to you,
Sage advice.
do it, enjoy it, because
Do it
it
as
will
hard
not
as
be
you
around
can.
forever. Because companies find out when something's inefficient, the market drives the efficiency, and so any good deal is an inefficient deal for them. So go to the M Life desks. All right.
There we go.
Redeem the
We got
Macau. Okay,
somebody.
so people was it
What's up,
easy? That's
Bogan?
what I want to know. Maybe I have hope now. I always just think that it would be like a pain in the butt to redeem in Macau, but maybe I am wrong, because I can't wait to get. Are you? I know that it's not open, but Macau is. You didn't love Macau, that's right. I love Macau so much. I can't wait to get back there. As soon as they're open, I'm on the plane to Hong Kong and Macau. That's it.
I
Not
mean,
you.
I'll
Well,
go
you
to
didn't like the
Hong Kong
casinos,
with you,
right?
but
You
I'm
didn't
gonna
like
stay in Hong Kong. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like nobody was excited, and I couldn't find a drink for my life. Those are the two things I pretty much love about casinos.
Those are the two reasons Mark would go to jail in Macau.
Mark really would for disturbing the peace. That's why I want to go to Macau with Mark. Just to see.
Shawn just walking around with his video, like, oh.
You can't really do that either. You try
to.
to pull up a camera anywhere near a casino in Macau, and the security descends on you from every angle. You can, I think, film the malls and stuff, but
bad. Yeah,
you can't even like try to take a picture. I remember I was in Wynn Palace trying to take a picture, and like four security, just like the camera came up like this, 4 security guards come at me, and then they told me to erase it, but I didn't erase it. But it ended up being blurry anyway because they were coming at me too fast. Nice. So the food credit was difficult. 2 M Life desks. All right. Yeah.
I mean,
so it was probably a little bit of a hassle, but at least it
sounds
worked.
better than we thought, though.
Yeah, but they don't like in Macau. They're like serious about video and when it comes to the casinos. I think when you're like in the malls and stuff, you're okay. But even if you're outside the casinos and you point a camera into the casino, like the opening, because they're kind of blocked off, can't do that either. Like,
so I just wanted to take a picture of the Four Seasons sign, and like I had just gotten there, and I felt like attacked. I was like, oh god, I'm not gonna have fun here.
So Macau is the no fun zone. Okay,
it's not fun. Well, it's
so here's the no fun thing. So there's
if you don't drink or gamble, it's great. That's why Shawn loves it.
Yeah.
No, I last time I was in Macau with or not the last time before with my friend Dave, we had a great time at the Hard Rock Cafe at Studio City drinking beers.
That's
all night in there.
The best places in international are the most American places.
Well, and they have great. The hotels there all have great like club lounges. So I've stayed at the Grand Hyatt.
Okay.
They have an amazing lounge there. I've stayed at the Conrad. They have an amazing lounge there.
The Four Seasons buffet was the best thing I've ever had.
Free booze. Yeah, you get free booze and food and like good stuff.
For the people that don't, the Vegas people that don't listen to our travel podcasts and stuff, we have this theory, me and my buddy, that whenever you go international, if you go to the most American sounding bar, and like in one city it's called the American Bar, that's where all the locals are. So if you go because no Americans are going to go there because they're like, why would I want to go to in Amsterdam? It's Bourbon Street. Why would I want to go to Bourbon Street? Like I'll go to New Orleans. And you go there, it's all local people dancing, having a great time. So try it. Whenever you're overseas, just go to the most American sounding place and it'll be
I've
the
seen
most
it in
fun.
action and he's not wrong.
So we got to find you an American sounding bar in Macau, and then, then
Hard
see how it
Rock.
goes.
That's what you say?
No, yeah, it's actually Dave and I. So we were ashamed. So I've been to Macau many times. My friend Dave, this was his first time there, and so I show him all the stuff. We ended up in the Conrad Executive Lounge. That's where we were staying, and had a few too many drinks. So we had drinks. We eat really nice. The best thing about the Conrad Club Lounge is they had like one of those big ham bones that you could carve off the. Like that was the first time I've ever seen that in a club lounge. Like it's pretty elaborate stuff. So then we were like, we go to Wynn Palace. We see that a little bit. And then we just end up at like at City of Dreams, and we find the Hard Rock. There's this cool band on, and they have like a beer special. That's where we ended the night. We didn't ever get past there, and like he felt so bad about it. I'm like, yeah, we had fun,
You had a good time, isn't that all that matters?
Then the night ended, and it was like 11:50 something, and the gondola at Wynn Palace closed at midnight, and we took like one last ride. And I remember he was like starting to pass out like that. I'm like. We had been back, but we had done like a 2-week coaster trip through China, so this was the end of it. It was crazy, but there you go, Mark. I can have fun drinking in Macau.
Yes, he can.
No gambling.
And also, you can see in the rooms when you're on the gondola, which is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, I wish that Bellagio had that gondola, just because it's Wynn Palace has the fountains just like Bellagio outside, but it has a gondola like the ski gondolas that go around and takes you from the street into the casino.
Yeah. It's super cool. Yeah.
They used to charge like $8 for it, but then. Nobody was
paying
paying
for it. Free.
Yeah, it's free now. It was only like a charge like the first 6 months, and then they realized they couldn't really monetize it and do it.
I got a Johnny Walker Blue in Macau for like $17. And I remember thinking, like, did they price this wrong? Am I stealing here?
They're charging at wholesale. Shawn, when you were in Reno, did you walk through Peppermill?
I didn't. I was supposed to go back. So when I was in Reno, I did a lot of filming, and then I went to Lake Tahoe, and I was supposed to go back through Reno for some other reason to go back and film. So I was going to film Peppermill then, and I didn't. So I've still never been in there. But that Peppermill in Reno has like all that kind of over the top Italian theming, right? I think so. It's like it looks like a really interesting place.
I was just hoping it would be like Peppermill Vegas, but in a casino. That would be amazing. Just neon lights everywhere and fake trees.
Yeah, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it has like a really cool thing, and I think it's one of the nicer hotels. We
should do a trip to Reno, Bethany. What do you think?
I'm in, and also there's definitely my Vegas for that.
Yeah, and then we could go to Tahoe for a couple of nights. Tahoe, yes.
I love it. When are we going?
Whenever. We'll talk about it in a couple minutes.
You can stay at Circus Reno.
There we go. Isn't it nice though?
Hotel on Virginia Street.
Isn't that one nice?
I feel it's owned by Caesars Entertainment. It's a long story how that happened, but it's a long story how that happened. No, I'm
sad that Bally's in Atlantic City is no longer, because they had the best diamond lounge in all of diamond lounges, and
I don't know if I've ever been there.
Yeah, that got sold to Bally's. So Bally's actually owns Bally's in Atlantic City now, not Caesars.
So weird.
I always find that so strange, the whole Bally's thing.
Well, what's stranger now is Bally's here is buying Tropicana, and somebody's buying Bally's, right? Bally's has canceled the leases of all of their restaurants. So like Buca de Beppo, the steakhouse, all those restaurants have closed and moved out. Now all the shops in the mall in the basement have closed, or a lot of them have. So they're selling that property to somebody. It's just a matter of when and what they're going to do.
Maybe it'll be something exciting.
Yeah, I mean, the rumor was Bally's, but if Bally's bought Trop, are they going to buy Bally's too, or will somebody else buy Bally's and
I forget.
turn it in?
Oh, I forget who it was that said it in a regular commenter. It said Bally's should have just been like another tower of Paris. It really should have. It should have never been its own entity. It should have just been part of Paris, I think, which makes a lot of sense. So I don't know if somebody comes in and buys it though, because it's so attached to Paris, it would be kind of weird.
But wasn't Bally's like its own big thing back in the day?
Yeah, and it got it was MGM
back in the day, wasn't it?
No, but
No, but
Bally's
Bally's
is like a
had
big
its own.
company.
Yeah, they were a big
Oh,
gaming
you're talking about
company.
the company
Yeah,
Bally's.
they're
See,
still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
how confusing is this?
it
I know.
is.
I
No,
thought
It's
you were
very
yeah,
talking about
that's
Bally's
confusing.
Hotel.
why the
Yeah.
whole thing is.
But yeah, the Bally's itself, the building is the old MGM Grand where the fire was. I think it was named MGM Grand through '86, if I want to believe, when Krikorian sold it off to Park Place, which was the Hilton, which was the so Hilton owned like the Las Vegas Hilton, the Flamingo Hilton, and they spun off that division, turned into Park Place Entertainment, which I believe this is after that they bought Bally's and then eventually built Paris. Which Paris, a lot of people don't know, was built as an extension of Bally's under the same gaming license. So when Paris opened, it was part
There
of
you go, Mark.
Bally's, but eventually got its own gaming
It should have
license.
been Paris, owned by Hilton, and then
Yeah.
it would have been Paris Hilton. There you go.
Well, it was. I mean, I guess it was Park Place at the time, and I think Park Place was bought by Harrah's, I believe, which was somehow merged, I believe, at some point with Caesar's World.
Harrods
then-
is the other one that I
Yeah.
associate with Bally's because they're both in Atlantic City. I guess that's probably the only reason, really.
But I believe Bally's, yeah, they made pinball, but I believe Bally's also made a lot of slot machines at the time. And they've been a gaming company for a long time.
Because I've noticed
But
that Bally's on its own now has been like sponsoring like ballparks and stuff.
Yeah, I
I'm
think they
always
made
like,
a huge
this is
comeback in the gaming
interesting.
industry. I don't know if they had a bankruptcy and they went away for a while and it's come back and it's a different entity, but yeah, they're very, very big now and they own quite a few casinos now that they bought local casinos around the country. So it's not just the one, because when I was in AC a few months ago, I kind of read about it, and obviously they bought the Bally's there, but they bought quite a few different properties. So it's sort of crazy, but. And they're coming to Vegas. Tropicana Las Vegas is owned by Bally's, or it will be.
And they have a sports
Yeah.
TV channel now too. So weird.
Yeah, everything.
Like the Detroit Tigers playing. It used to be Fox Sports Detroit. Now it's Bally's. I'm like, okay, this is strange, but yeah.
So to bring this like full circle,
confusing.
like, do you guys think? I think MGM is going to sell off a property or two. I think they're low end. I think Excalibur will be sold, and I think I'm a little torn on whether I think Luxor will be sold because I feel like it's strategic with the Raiders and its location and everything. But I think Excalibur really doesn't fit in with their lineup. Like if you look at who they're going for as players, who they are as a company, now they're buying Cosmo, this high-end hotel. They've sold off all their land, so now they're really trying to become an asset-light operator. I don't see where Excalibur fits in with that. So my guess is they are trying to unload it, or we may see something redeveloped on that corner. Excalibur may go away. I don't know. I think if you look at, they got rid of Circus. The other one that sort of doesn't make sense for them to keep is Excalibur. Maybe Luxor, but that has a reason.
I think once you get rid of Circus, it's kind of like Excalibur's the next thing to drop. Which, crazy enough, Excalibur was the first place I ever stayed in Vegas because we did one of those Blue Green Resort. They were inside the mall, like, hey, do you want to go to a Vegas for $100 or whatever? And you have to go to a presentation. So that was the first place we stayed. And that was before they revamped anything. So it looked like a 1980s Holiday Inn in the rooms. It was rough, but we still had fun there. But I don't think it fits with them. I don't know if somebody takes it over, could they really do anything with it? I don't know. It's kind of tough. Like, who would want to buy it?
There were rumors when MGM was redeveloping Park MGM that was sort of a test if they could retheme Luxor and Excalibur, spending hundreds of millions of dollars. But I don't. Yeah. Well, first off, Park MGM wasn't a success. I don't think that the retheme they spent $500 million, and most people don't see as a huge improvement. Yeah, they added Nomad. I mean, the rooms were renovated, which needed to happen because the old rooms were very dated. Italy came. They made some definite improvements to the restaurants, like the steakhouse. Their restaurant scene's really good, but the casino's sort of dead, and I don't know that it has a great theme. But yeah, Excalibur, the whole building is the shape of a castle. I don't know, like, unless you really like embraced, I don't know, like a Disney style, like really went back to kids and tried to make it something over the top nice. You could kind of use the bones of that castle. Other than that, I think tear it down and they would build something else because there's a lot of land there. So I really
hope they don't touch Luxor because I really do have a soft spot in my heart for that place. I don't know why. I just like it. I like in there. I like how open it is when you're in the like restaurant area and everything, and the casino's fine. And I hope they don't touch that. Excalibur, I don't know. It feels very 90s, just the outside, like very pop pop
Like
color.
the whole theme thing is so
Yeah, it
90s,
just
you
seems
know.
very 90s. So maybe if they modernized it, like did like a, like you said, an update, a Tangled type of castle, Disney made it look nicer and modern, it might work. I don't know, but yeah, I hope they don't touch Luxor though. Don't mess with it.
I mean,
But
this
so
is a
what do
good
you think they're
point.
trying to get out of this? Like, so I have a feeling that either Resorts World or this Cosmo acquisition is going to flop. It's going to be one or the other because I feel like they go
I put my
after the
money on.
same demographic.
I would put my money on Resorts World at this point.
See, I actually disagree. I think Genting's going to learn. I think that they are going to learn a lot. This is a company that's been fairly successful with casinos all over the world. Big
Mhm.
integrated resorts, like in Singapore, you have Resorts World Sentosa, which has Universal Studios. Like this
Well, I
isn't a
think
company
that's their
that
target
learned.
market, like the
Yeah,
very high end, like Asian gamblers.
yeah, and I think maybe we're gonna get some different hotels built in Resorts World that
Be
are gonna be
cool.
a little bit more special. I think they're gonna learn a lesson. Remember that the property's only half built,
Hmm.
so I just have hope that they will adapt. I agree that
Yeah.
they missed some marks here for sure with opening
Well,
it,
yeah,
but
but now that MGM is taking over Cosmo, you're kind of like, oh, maybe
yeah,
Resorts World has it now, because I don't trust
I
MGM
feel
with like that kind of power.
I feel like, originally it was supposed to be very Asian themed and then they backed it off and it's kind of corporate feeling and I think they should have been
Stuck with
more
it.
themed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel Vegas at all. I mean, it's not the casino's nice. A
Hmm.
lot of the restaurants are very nice. The hotels are bland and boring. So I think they missed the mark on that. Like
Hmm.
you go to Vegas to see something unique and different and
Yeah.
they didn't really do that anywhere. Even the Hawker Center that I was like super excited about is just like a food court you see at the mall.
Yeah.
It's nothing special. I
well,
know
yeah,
Shawn
the
gets
food.
triggered
I
by
think the
That's
that.
food
true.
is no. I think the food is special, but it was
The
overpriced.
food.
They had to
Yeah,
lower
the
their
food.
prices 25%. So that just shows you that. I mean, you can put the
Already.
most special. Yeah, because they were charging $20 a
Mm-hmm.
dish at the food court, which is ridiculous. So yeah, great food, but if the prices are so high, then what? Then yeah, I think your
No, but
criticism was
I
valid with
wanted like
that.
a separate area that's like
Sure,
a food
sure.
hall that you go
Yeah,
Yeah.
into, and it's got all these different like cool things and huge tables in the middle that you can sit down. Like, I didn't want it to be attached to the casino floor where it just
yeah.
feels like a food court at the mall. So I think they missed the mark there. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
envisioned, like a food hall in Amsterdam, stuff like that you see in New York, where they just have all these little shacks and
Yeah.
you go up and order the food that you want and you sit in the middle. Everybody sits in the middle, communal
Hmm.
seating, and eats. And they missed the mark on that. It didn't feel right.
There's also one thing that we're leaving out is that like we have not been in those high roller rooms. Like we don't know what they're
Shawn
doing.
asked. They didn't look that
Like
great.
really?
I mean,
Like the
I haven't been in their, so that I've been in their suite, so I haven't been in their palaces,
Rockford Suite. Yeah.
yeah, I
Oh.
haven't been in their palaces, which are, well, actually, I kind of have though, because I snuck into one of them while it was under construction, just the pool
that's
area and the outside,
awesome.
so I saw it. I mean, yeah, those
Okay.
palaces, but that's like the VIP suite in any casino, like
Well, that's what I'm
Bellagio's
saying.
top rooms, or
Yeah,
sure,
but sometimes those people keep things,
yeah.
in the
I
I
mean,
black.
will.
MGM
I
has the
will.
mansions, right, which is
Yeah.
among the nicest rooms in
Yeah,
the
Bethany,
city.
get us in there already. Jeez, come on.
I mean,
The same.
uh,
The
Or Rio
same at
has the
Rio.
Palazzo
that's like
suites.
Yeah,
that's
which
three
is
promotions for P2 at least.
the Rio Palazzo drives me crazy because it confuses me because it's at the Rio, but the Palazzo Suites, but it's not a Palazzo.
Hmm.
But whatever.
I know.
I will say the one thing that I got to get back to Resorts World for that I think they did really well that's going under the radar now and is going to be busy is what is it? Starlight 66? Is that what it's called? The
Yeah, I
bar
believe
up
so. Yeah,
on the top
the
floor.
bar. Yeah.
Everything I've seen or
Oh, that'll
read
be nice.
has been amazing. Like it looks really cool and it's not very busy. Not a lot of people know about it. So take advantage of that as well as the Crockford's lobby. Like do those two. You could do like a little bar hop between those two. As well as like Gatsby's is kind of cool. So you could do like a 3 bar hop thing if you go check out Resorts World. But I definitely want to get to that and see what it's like because it looks amazing. And the views are kind of unique to it too.
Yeah, Gatsby's looks really good. I think at night it kind of becomes like a club and stuff like that, but during the day or like early evening, it's a cool place for like a pre-dinner cocktail, or that's the place if you're looking with all the different colored balloons or something on the ceiling. I don't know. Are they balloon what
That's kind of
globes
a
Yeah.
you
genius
call them?
theme for a cocktail
Yeah.
bar. That's like
Yeah.
amazing.
And
And
then
if
what
it's
What was
Fits
the
really
one
well.
Asian restaurant with like all the flowers dangling from the ceiling that wasn't open when we were there?
Yeah, I forget. It's the
You
one
remember?
that's owned by Zook, but I forget the name of it. It's
Yeah,
right
it
over
looks
by the
really,
nightclub
really
and stuff.
pretty. Like
Yeah.
I don't even care if the food sucks. Like I just want to sit in there because it
Sometimes
reminds
it's
me of
all that
like a
matters.
yeah.
There's some really
It
cool
reminds
looking
me of
restaurants and
like a
venues too.
Vanderpump. Yeah, it reminds me of like a Vanderpump type of design to it. So it looks really cool. But I think they did well with the bars. It's just everything else is kind of like okay.
Yeah, so I drove by today. I drove by Fontainebleau, and lots of construction workers there. So Fontainebleau is a go. I mean, all the tarps have been torn down, and like there was at least 20. I mean, so by a lot, it's not full construction yet, but there was 20 construction workers working there, and I've not seen a construction worker there for years. So Fontainebleau, as of now, is moving forward. So that's good. I mean, that's good for that area, and that'll keep pressure on Resorts World and their expansion. And who knows what'll happen to Circus, but yeah,
That's just so weird, though. They're finally gonna. Oh wait, but it's not gonna be a Marriott, or it is.
I think it's still because I think they did that press release like 2 months ago, and
Yeah.
they're still affiliated with JW. My guess is the JW Marriott will be a couple hundred rooms within that hotel, and
Okay.
so I believe the original developers are on board, or at least one of them is. So my guess is it's going to be called the Fontainebleau. And there
Okay.
will be a JW Marriott within the Fontainebleau.
Interesting.
That's my guess, but as far as everything announced, even the Fontainebleau name, I don't think has been announced yet. But
I am looking forward to
that just
that.
makes sense, right? I mean, at this point,
Yeah.
call
Oh
it
yeah.
what it was
I mean,
originally
yeah.
supposed to be.
Been many years in the making.
Yeah, and people who love South
Yeah, like
Florida.
20.
Have you ever stayed there, Bethany? Have you stayed at the original Fontainebleau in Miami?
No.
I
Never.
stayed down the street from there the other day, but it looks kind of cool. It looks like a Vegas-y kind of resort, but you can't really.
Wasn't
I
it
don't
like old school Miami, like when it
Mhm.
first like blew up?
Yep.
Yeah.
I hope they theme it properly. Like that's what I always envisioned Virgin going for was like the 80s cool Miami
Yeah.
Vice type of look, and they end up going
Mhm.
like middle of Phoenix, Arizona,
So
bland,
weird.
dusty
weird.
look.
Yeah.
So if they come out like I feel like that's what's missing from Vegas is like that neon-y old
Mhm.
school Miami, chill, cool thing. So if they do that, that would be amazing.
That would be cool.
The interesting thing is they're going to be subject to like the rooms to the building, right? Just like kind of Genting was with Resorts World, or even more so. So, I mean, Fontainebleau was originally designed as a luxury hotel, so I imagine the rooms are
Mhm.
big and all of that. But whatever was locked in design wise back then, I have to imagine they're pretty much locked in with now, since that building is. I mean, I guess maybe
point.
some interior walls, things like that. But as far
True.
as like the standard rooms and stuff, that's already probably determined. But
Bree-
at least it's
Bree
gives us
nails
something
it.
new to
The
look for.
Drew is the worst name ever. It's
Well,
like the dumbest.
It was
I
named
didn't hate
after.
that name. I
To be
didn't
fair,
hate
it was
it.
named after the guy's son who had died of a drug overdose. So I guess it was like he meant
Well,
it in like a good way.
rain on our parade of crapping
Wah,
on it,
wah.
Shawn.
But the guy, I forget the developer guy, but who bought it the last time, that's why he named it the Drew. So is the Strat reboot? Yes, because I haven't been to the rooms, but the casino at Strat is beautiful. Yeah, we talked about
We
it.
just talked about it on the recording that's coming out next week for the podcast. Like the Strat is undervalued for sure, I think.
Yeah, and okay, one last thing, Vegas could use some art. That comment. The one thing I was a little guilty with myself was Resorts
Why don't you read
World,
the comment for people that listen to it?
Okay,
on the
Vegas
podcast
could use some
later.
Rat Pack Art Deco Miami vibes. Sorry, I couldn't get it out.
Sean's hooked on phonics.
But I was like, are we being too hard on Resorts World's corporate? Yes, it works for me, Mark. It works for me. Their corporate rooms at Resorts World, and then I remember like Circa, and those are brand new rooms, and I love them so much, and they have so many like throwback Vegas-y vibe things, and that's what's special, and that's what I want in a Vegas hotel, nice or not nice. Hopefully nice, preferably nice, but on any end you could do it. Circa nailed the rooms, and that's like the more I look to like what is missing from Resorts World, it's that Circa charm in the rooms, because they're just like a cookie cutter Hilton hotel. But so I hope we get more of that. I hope we get more of that.
Circa fanboy. Sean.
Hashtag Circa fanboy. There you go. It always comes down to that. So
I mean,
Only it
even
weren't
like when
down
you're
there. I would
driving,
love to go.
when you're driving downtown and you see Circa like popping out of the skyline, it just looks sexy. Like the curve, he just did a great job with that. Like the design, it's the only place that's come up in the last few years that actually like had a vision and they followed the vision all the way through instead of, all right, we're going to do this here, we're going to do that there. And that's the problem with Virgin and Resorts World and stuff. It's just kind of like a whole bunch of stuff mushed together, where this is like one design the whole way through, and I love it. I wish it wasn't on Fremont because Fremont's crazy now, but other than that, it's
Well,
great.
maybe Derek Stevens will get some good funding and get himself
Yeah,
to the
he
strip.
needs to buy Excalibur. Derek, buy Excalibur and make.
There
it
we
cool.
go.
All
There
right.
you go.
I mean, I think we could see
Something.
that. I hope so. Or we could see him maybe buy Binions and maybe expand Circa or come up with another property.
Oh,
in
Binions, that's a
Fremont.
classic.
So Fremont,
Yeah,
well, a
Binions.
classic, and of course, we know that you love their clearance shop in the back, the 70% off
I forgot
shirts.
about that.
That's one of my favorite
they
pictures
just have
ever.
like Z lines that like full of random crap. Like you're at a TJ Maxx, but like the worst crap from TJ Maxx, and they send it all here, and it's like $3, and it's so crappy looking. But
The
they
shop,
just have
the shop is still open. The last time I was there, all those racks they had out on the floor though are gone, so it was just like an empty space back there. But the shop was still open with their 70% clearance stuff. That's been like that for like 15 years.
Is it Binions that has like the rotating bar
Whiskey
overlooking
liquor?
Fremont though?
Yeah,
Yeah,
whiskey liquor, I think is what it's
that's
called.
that's a cool spot. I gotta check out.
Yeah.
That's where they had like the first World Series of Poker, right? I think when I first went to Vegas, it was all that
was
stuff
there.
that I
It
wanted to
was-
go see. Yeah.
Yeah, World Series was there for a long time. Yeah,
Yeah,
Circuit doesn't feel like Fremont when you get inside. It's just, and I love Fremont. I love Fremont Street. It's like it's busier than the Strip now, and
Hectic.
I miss the old days when there's so many people just standing outside, just standing there, not doing anything. That it's annoying. I find just walking from place to place takes forever because you're going like this trying to get through people. So I miss the
If
old
you
days
think
where
it's bad
nobody
on the
went.
Strip, it's worse.
Yeah, I miss the old days where nobody was there. But I will say Fremont, if you're staying on Fremont when you wake up at like 7, 8 in the morning and you just go out there and there's nobody, it's amazing. It's a really unique vibe that you don't get anywhere else in Vegas.
Yeah, right now the roads are messed up too. Charlotte makes a great point. Like the roads around there are all torn up, including like casinos. Like the roads you have to cross. Everything is just a mess downtown.
Yeah.
So that's not a great time.
And they make you go through like a metal detector while you're trying to cross the street, and it's just like bottlenecks everybody. It's I love Fremont, but I'm not going there anytime soon.
The exposed rear ends on Fremont are a bit much. I mean, I think Bethany
Never
would
bothered
disagree.
me.
Yeah. I have
Definitely
a
never
photo
bothered
that says differently.
Yeah, if you go to Bethany's YouTube, you can see her getting spanked by some of the exposed rear.
Oh, that's
ends.
right. Yeah, you have it on the
opening
on the
opening
preview.
to the happy hours of mine.
Yeah.
I have a great picture of we talk about me taking pictures of people taking pictures.
That was the picture I was thinking of.
Yeah, of Mark taking a picture of Bethany getting spanked, and me taking a picture of Mark taking a picture of Bethany getting spanked, and
Yeah.
Mark
did
and a
you
friend of ours.
It was the
the
best
friend of us
20
doesn't
bucks
like
I ever spent.
our other friend who's in that picture doesn't like the picture because he doesn't think it's flattering to
Because
his
he has
hairline.
a bald spot on
Yeah,
his head.
I was just saying flattering. I was trying to be a little bit more diplomatic.
No, I mean, but he's old.
We don't
He
have to
needs
tell
he needs
anybody who it
accept
is.
Yeah, he's never going to see this, so it's okay. He's not getting this deep into a Vegas YouTube video. Sorry, that was my phone falling out of my pocket. I apologize.
I do all
All
the
right.
time.
Well, any closing words? Anything else you guys wanted to get off your chest?
I have a story because Mike said gambling is great, but you really got to keep your head on swivel downtown. My story of downtown, my favorite story of downtown. So we're on a trip, and it's March Madness weekend, and I just get destroyed all day. All day, I'm just like losing money right and left, drunk. We end up going to Fremont to hang out, have some more drinks, having fun. And it's like 3 a.m, 4 a.m. We're sitting at a table, a $5 table, Bethany, a $5 blackjack table. And I'm playing like 2 hands at $10 each. And my buddy just has like a moment of sobriety. And he looks at me. He's like, "Hey, Mark." "Yeah, what's up?" He's like, "Do you know what this is?" I was like, "No." "What is this?" He said, "Rock bottom, buddy." So that's my Fremont story.
Oh, that
Self-awareness is
is
a great
incredible.
thing.
He's like you're playing
Incredible.
$5 table.
Playing two
Oh, so
hands at a
good.
$5 deal.
Yeah, two hands at it. I will say one time we were playing at which my favorite place to gamble is not the D oh crap, I can't think of the name of it. What's the other one he owns? The oldest
Golden Gate?
Golden Gate. Yeah, so we were playing at Golden Gate and they had $5 tables there. It was like on a Wednesday or Thursday or whatever. And I was like, "How many hands can you play?" And they're like, 3. And I was like, "Oh, do I have to play like 10 times to play 3 or whatever?" They're like, "No, just play double." So we were playing $10 3 hands, and then my buddy was playing $10 3 hands. It was the only $5 table in the place. So everybody was walking up trying to sit down. Just the two of us were playing the whole table, and they were so mad the whole time. But they let us go because they're like, "We don't care. Let it. You're gonna keep going." So we sat there for like 2-3 hours playing the entire table, just the two of us. It was pretty amazing, and I love that casino. That's a fun casino.
Yes, the oldest hotel in Las Vegas. Not the oldest casino, but
that's the original dancing dealers, Bethany, where they would
did not know that.
Yeah, they'd get up and dance, and then a lot of places will have dancers on the in the middle of pits, but they rotate through. Like they go from this table to that table, and then they go and do their dance, and then they come back. So it was kind of unique at the time. Now he does it like other places because that was the first place he owned. But
okay, so on that note, I had one really funny dealer this last trip, and she said that when she was like in her early 20s, she would go to the pleasure pit and Han, she would go to the pleasure pit, and every time she would bust, she'd be like, "Yes, 21." And she's like, "They would always pay me. They were so stupid." I was like, "This dealer is amazing."
What? Where did they go to dealers?
Well, wow. I mean, they're the dancing girls, right? So like you're thinking that they probably got hired for that, not this. And yeah, she said that like she would probably consistently like half of the time convince them to pay her.
That's an amazing strategy. Just
I know. I was like, this dealer is so cool.
Just go winner, chicken dinner, and you get paid.
Yep. That's what she said. She's like, they were so dumb that all you really had to do was be convincing. I was like, man, you're cool.
All right. Great that's the way to end it. There you go.
Yeah.
I think so.
Rock bottom.
Rock bottom.
It really would be, Bethany. I'm sorry, but like, yeah. I don't want to rip off.
It's like 4 a.m. and I'm playing $20 2 hands, and he's like rock bottom. I'm like, yep. I laughed for like 5 minutes as they're dealing me cards.
It's a great story.
That was only the first of many times that you hit rock bottom in your life.
Yeah.
True.
Little did you know.
The first time. We're riding in the cab back at like 7 a.m. to go to bed, and I'm calling my brother-in-law, being like, "Dude, you know what Sam said to me? All our money's on Florida. They better win." That's pretty much how it went.
The life of a gambler.
There you go.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And don't forget to check out Bethany's YouTube channel, youtube.com/bougiemiles or bougiemiles.com. BOUGIE.
Just go there and subscribe right now if you're listening. So
yes,
you can start getting paid for videos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for having us. And this will also be on our podcast. But if you're out there, like if you could like this video, thanks for commenting.
Thumbs up.
Share our channel with a friend.
Comment.
Yeah.
Tell us what you didn't like about us. Just comment.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
throw some emotional shade.
Thanks for inviting the hate. I try not to invite it.
Enough. Make sure you guys comment that Shawn doesn't smile.
I love it.
Yeah, because I think Mark paid somebody. I think Mark paid that other Shawn to say that because he knows that I get self-conscious about.
Apologies.
Well, Shawn may be getting new teeth soon, so that will be fun.
That's he'll smile more. He's going to get the
probably
grill.
will.
He's going to get diamonds.
Diamond encrusted. There you go. No, it's been something for a while, so that'll be fun. Yes, more Papa Giorgio. Somebody posted that on Twitter. Like, do you remember Papa Giorgio is the fake ID that the son had in Vegas Vacation?
Yeah. I mean,
like the date.
That sounds very familiar.
Like the date that expired was like 20 years ago this week or something like that. On the fake ID. That's how long ago that movie was. So we're all
thanks, Arthur, for all the comments.
Old.
Yeah. What a positive way to end. All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.